Hello, my name is Otis McKinney, and I'll be discussing the information about Charlie Smith. He's 8 years old, and he's part of my IEP program, Individualized Education Plan. Charlie currently receives special education services in the preschool setting. He receives speech language therapy and occupational therapy, physical therapy twice a week. He uses augmentative and alternative communication devices in school to help him support his expression and communication throughout the school. Classroom accommodations to support motor and access, motor skills and communication for independence, for full autonomy for his daily routines. Areas of eligibility: special education, primary categories, category 2 and 3. And for students with SLD only, the following areas eligibility was previously determined. So Section 3, present level of academic achievements, as this is basically the cognitive portion. Standard for Arizona early learning standards. Emergent literacy for pre-K. His annual goals by March 2022, basically 2022. Given adaptive materials and physical support as needed, Charlie will identify 22 uppercase letters and count objects 20 with 80% accuracy. Basically 4 out of 5 across the board for 3 consecutive data collection periods for the progress monitoring. Baseline level of mastery currently identifies 17 letters and numbers of 1 through 10 with teachers prompting. Service provider for special education teachers, general education, and teachers of occupational therapy. So you want to give him a more inclusive environment too. Also, he can be able to go to these specialized areas that will help him out that are not within the classroom too, that are not within general education, like occupational therapy. And sometimes as a special education teacher too, you may have to take him out the classroom for special accommodations for reading aloud or whatever his modifications are within the classroom. And I'll get to that too. So his accommodations was to enlarge letters and tools adapted for scissors, devices for answering questions, and visual support. That kind of helping with his fine motor skills. Modifications reduce his number of items, tasks, alternative responses, methods. Now weekly to basically enhance the process as far as see what his progress is all about. We want to reduce the number of items per response as far as like pointing. Monitoring his progress weekly with teacher data collection. This is a part of his progress monitoring. Make sure it's more suitable for him. You want to store his information in a digital IEP system to review the IEP team, for the IEP team to review. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't have it as a paper trail within a binder. That's what I do with all my students on my caseload. I put information within a binder. That way we can actually have access to it, just in case if we have technical difficulties or the system is under reconstruction. Now, the areas of reading his strengths: Charlie identifies 17 uppercase letters. He demonstrates a strong engagement during literacy activities. He enjoys participating with circle time. This is basically with shared friends in the classroom. He's motivated and attentive during structured lessons when the material is accessible, when he can get to it. Areas of need that he needs to improve on. Charlie has not yet mastered all 26 letters of the alphabet. He benefits from visual support and reduced choices. So he has had limited choices so he can understand what the conclusive answer is so you won't get distracted. He may shut down when material becomes too difficult or when communication demands increase. This is due to him being overstimulated. So we try to keep it at a minimum that's more suitable to him within the classroom. And his writing areas of strengths, Charlie can use large markers and adapt writing tools for some activities. And he shows willingness to attempt classroom writing tasks when provided with appropriate support. Areas that need to basically be supported more so will be Charlie requires assistance with fine motor skills and tasks such as cutting, gluing, and manipulating small objects. Limited arm mobilities impact his ability to independently complete writing and crafts activities. So this is something you have to work on, that we are working on too as well. Now with the math areas, his strengths, Charlie identifies numbers 1 through 10. He knows that pretty well. He participates in activities and counting numbers, and he enjoys hands-on math and tasks and materials that are more accessible that he can get to. Areas that need to get stronger in, he not yet demonstrates mastery of numbers beyond 10. He benefits from larger manipulatives and visual support as access to math instructions. And this is more so important for the graphic organizer too that I have available for him in the classroom. Now I don't have an individual graphic organizer for him. That'd be something ongoing that I would have to invest in as time progresses to see what he's actually learning more so in different areas of his IEP. His physical, for motor skills, we just talked about how his motor skills and fine motor skills also incorporate the gross motor skills and visuals for hearing. So areas of strength, Charlie is mobile using in a wheelchair and is able to basically move around on the floor. He demonstrates determination within his wheelchair, demonstrate determination and strong desire for independence. He wants autonomy, full autonomy. He still participates in physical occupational therapy twice a week. This is where he had to go out the classroom to go to and get seen by a specialist. So the areas of need, Charlie has limited use of his arms due to cerebral palsy, which impacts fine motor skills, writing, cutting, feeding, and participation in the classroom task. He requires assistance in some gross and fine motor skills activities and proper positioning support to access his instructions. Now, orally, communication, the areas that he's strong in, he speaks 2-word phrases and clearly communicates, and he wants and needs to pointing. He interacts positive with his peers and adults. He has no issue with that. He enjoys social engagement and attempts to communicate frequently. The areas that he needs to focus on, more so, he gets frustrated when he cannot communicate quickly. That's natural. Although he has as devices to communicate with, he uses it inconsistently and typically only when prompted. He requires support to expand utterness and increases independence in his communication devices. Sometimes he gets frustrated when he uses his devices. He feels as though he doesn't need them. That's when you have to remind him, Charlie, this, I don't know what you're saying. Can you help me out a little bit? So he'll tend to use his devices. Now, for social emotional behavior, the areas that he's good in is he enjoys school interaction and he works well with peers and teachers and actively participates in the classroom activity. He demonstrates positive interaction with his peers and relationships and strong motivation. And areas that need to work on he may shut down, like I said earlier before, when academic tasks become too challenging. He becomes frustrated, and when separated from peers, for a therapy session, the communication is difficult. Support using coping strategies and communication tools pretty much manage this frustration. And this is an ongoing process, which is understandable. Adaptivity. His areas of strengths, he prefers to complete tasks independently, responds positively when he encourages and build independence. You got to motivate him a little bit. Hey, you got this. And he seems to get back on track. His family strongly supports his independence at home, so that's a good thing. Areas that he need to work on. Charlie requires assistance with feelings and is currently in diapers. Limited motor control impacts his ability to complete self-care tasks independently, and he benefits from adaptive positioning support and structured routine. So that helps him out a great deal when he's in a structured environment that actually supports that, which we do that on a daily basis. Currently on the classroom data, he identifies 17 uppercase letters from 1 through 10. He uses 2 words, verbal phrases, requires assistance for cutting and gluing and feeding tasks. Demonstrates frustration when communication or academic demands exceed his ability, because he's trying to learn more, so he actually gets confused and frustrated. But due time he'll get better. He'll get better. Charlie parents are highly involved in the supportive of him, and Charlie's future academic placement will likely for him to transition into a general education classroom for kindergarten. That's in the near future. They want him to develop stronger communication and independent skills to support this transition. And summary of work habits. Charlie is enthusiastic about school and he's eager to participate. He demonstrates strong effort and engagement when accessible. He prefers independence and responds to encouragement when tasks or difficulties arise. Now, the skills of the area of the physical within this physical realm, standards preschool motor skill development uses fine motor skills to participate in the classroom. Annual goals by end of the IEP year. Charlie will complete 3 steps for fine motor skills in the classroom, and such as using colors, cuts, and glue, and the adaptive material with more than one verbal prompt based on 4 out of 5 opportunities. Now, in closing, Charlie is really progressing. It's going to take a bit of a time for him to learn how to express himself a little bit more in a positive direction when he gets frustrated. But other than this, Charlie is really progressing with the help of paraprofessionals, the general ed teacher, and the special education teacher. That concludes my presentation, and have a nice day.